Good evening and welcome to this very special evening of introducing the Open Spiritual Channels program for 2018. So this is an introductory evening to let you know what the possibilities are. So it's wonderful to have you in the room, to have you on the webcast and on Facebook and the teleconference. So what I'm going to ask, at certain times during the evening, I will ask for responses. So it's easy for those of you in the room. Those of you on Facebook, when I ask for a response, would you please put your response in the comments on Facebook? And on the webcast, you can put your comments in the chat box, and people on the telephone, we will remember to open the line so that you can respond. So this is really, for me, this is a series that is really near and dear to my heart. And before I begin, sharing that with you, I want to welcome everyone to the center. Some of you have come here and you're familiar, you realize what a special place this is. There are many people who are new on the webcast and Facebook and possibly not so many on the teleconference. So what I'm going to be doing this evening is I'm going to make references to the people who are new. Those who are not new will benefit also, because Master Sha's wisdom has layers. So sometimes we've heard things many, many times, but after we've heard them and our frequency and vibration has shifted enough, it's like, boing, a whole new world opens for us. So during this evening, I will make that reference many times. And those of you who are returning, I realize that you are here and I'm not ignoring you. That's very important to realize that. So for the people who are new, we call this Master Sha Tao Healing Center. It is a very, very special place because this center is actually a field. Many of you have heard that term. You like to be in this energy field. Certain people have such a good energy field. You like to be around them. Other people, you're not so sure. So this particular center and the other 7 centers worldwide are a very special field. And it's called a Tao. In fact, that's the name. So Tao is source, creator, universal laws and principles. Source is, a Tao really cannot be defined. Tao is beyond our definitions. Tao is oneness. So that gives you an idea. We can connect with Tao endlessly. And every time we connect, we have a different experience, a deeper awareness. I was going to say understanding, but it goes way beyond understanding. It's awareness. And so this particular place where we are is a Tao, and this means field. Chung means field. So in welcoming you to this center, what I'm really doing is I'm welcoming you to the Tao field. And in this field, amazing things can happen. Now, some of the people on Facebook, some of the people in the chat room and on the phone are at geographic areas far, far from San Francisco. So coming physically to the center would not be possible most of the time. Sometimes, but not always. But you can participate the way you are tonight in a form of being present in this Tao field. So it truly is an honor. I am so grateful to be able to share an invitation with everybody to come and to benefit and enjoy being in the center, this Tao field. And I'll tell you just a little bit about myself. And I'm going to tell you about the master teachers, even though they're not physically present in the room. They are here, but they are, involved in something different. But my professional career is as an educator. And in that capacity, I taught elementary school. I was principal in elementary school. I was an RSP teacher in elementary school. For those of you who don't have any idea what that means, I taught the children who were at least 2 years below grade level in reading, math, or both. And I also was a consultant for a social studies program to help train other teachers in using their particular program to the greatest benefit of the children. So that was lots of fun because I got to travel and I met many other different teachers in school settings. As a master teacher, as a student of master teacher, I was one of the first, as a student of Master Sha, I was one of the first master teachers and have been very, very blessed with amazing appointments from Master Sha so that I would be able to help serve each one in the way that would be most beneficial. And Master Shunya is the lead teacher here at the center. His professional career included being a diversity trainer for Fortune 500 companies. He was a consultant in diversity training, which was quite a significant role to have because it was at the time when this was being introduced into various companies. So to have the ability to train people to be able to do this well was quite significant. He also, as one of the master teachers, received in fact, all of us, I'm not going to say it for each one of us because it's true for each one of us, we've received amazing, amazing appointments for Master Sha. They're different for each one of us, but they're very special, and the whole purpose is to help us to serve. I'm going to, Master Robert, his professional life centered around the travel industry. And he had various positions in the travel industry. He was, the last thing he did was, he was the airport supervisor in Honolulu, which is one of the key airports. He also was a customer service facilitator, which gives us an idea of why he is so very good at customer service here at the center. And then he met Master Shah, and when he met Master Shah, he became a divine travel coordinator. So his work took an amazing step. He is one of Master Shah's master teachers, as I said, and also has very special appointments. Master Adrian, most of us know Master Adrian because he's the voice we hear so often on customer service, but his professional background includes several different things. He was a supervisor in a fire department in the communications center. He was a customer service representative for AT&T. He was a restaurant manager in Denver. And he also was a Reiki master and massage therapist and yoga teacher. All of that before he became a student of Master Shah and then a master teacher. So this gives you an idea of each one of the master teachers. And you will meet each one during the weekend. We're doing 2 separate days. Those of you who will be doing each day or even one of the days will have an opportunity to meet the other master teachers also. So what I'm going to do this evening is I want to give you an idea of Master Shah's wisdom. And in one evening, I'll only be able to give you an idea. But as I started to say at the beginning, this content is something that is very near and dear to my heart. And I suspect it's near and dear to every single person's heart, or he wouldn't be here. And the same for those on Facebook and the webcast. Before I met Master Shah, I used to give talks at least once a year in church. And I would go to different cities. And to prepare for the talk, I would read what the scripture was, and I would let it sit in the back of my mind. And I would say to God, please give me what it is that's going to be most helpful. And then I would just read it maybe once a week. About a week before I was going to give the talk, I would sit down and I would write it. But before I started writing, I would say to God, okay, I'm going to start to write my talk now, so I need a lot of help. Please let me know what it is that I need to say. And so God would let me know what I needed to say, and I would write it down. And then after I wrote it down, and then this was about a week ahead. So then after a couple of days, I would read it again and say, okay, what needs to change here? And I would make some changes. Then I would practice it. So you can tell, I mean, this was a long process. It was a whole month. But it was a form of soul communication. It was a form of, I hadn't really opened my spiritual channels very much. It was just sort of maybe peeking. But I did get information. When Master Shah said that he was going, and if there was something that was very, very urgent to me, I would say, okay, God, I need an answer. I really need an answer to this, and I don't understand mumble. Because, sometimes you can get answers you don't understand them. It's, it's like the Buddhist, sayings that you get an answer, but you have no idea what it means. Or the ancient Taoist texts, they've got all these explanations and teachings, but nobody understands them. So the first workshop that Master Sha did, it was so exciting to me. It was soul language and translation. And Master Sha, after he had taught us soul language, he said, okay, now you're going to do soul language, and you will do your own translation. So we all did it. The translation I got was, my dearest Marilyn, from now on I will speak to you clearly. It will not be mumble. I cannot tell you, I was so excited. I could hardly believe that such a thing was possible. But that's what this whole series is all about. To help us to listen to heaven. And to hear it clearly. And we can. That is being offered to us. So, what would be really wonderful, this is something where I would really like you to respond. What is it that brought you to this? And let me, because I have this in a way. So that was what excited me the most about this possibility. But what I would love to hear from each one of you is what excites you the most about the possibility of opening your spiritual channels. I have to keep looking at this paper because I want to say the title right. So what excites you the most about the idea that you could open your spiritual channels or open them more fully? Okay? So I'll give you about a minute to reflect on that. Well, maybe not a whole minute. You don't need a whole minute. So maybe we'll start with people on the teleconference.
This conference is unmuted. Callers may mute themselves by pressing *1.
So everyone on the teleconference, the line is open and you can speak at any time. And do we have people on the teleconference?
There are currently 3 other participants in the conference.
Okay. There are 3 on the line. Pardon me? If you're speaking, we cannot hear you, so you probably have your phone muted.
Master Marilyn, it's April.
Yes, April.
The question was about our passions.
What excites you the most about the idea of being able to open your spiritual channels more fully? For you, it would be more fully.
Oh, receiving pure guidance.
To receive guidance. Beautiful. Yes. Okay. Great. And who would you like to receive the guidance from, April?
Whatever is most appropriate in the moment, whatever situation or question or that is most appropriate in the moment. It could situation. It could be a
From
advice.
who would you like to, not what, but who? Who would you like to hear from?
Right now.
Anytime, anytime.
Usually it's divine. It could be original soul.
Okay. Beautiful. So from the divine, from your own original soul. Beautiful. So, someone else on the teleconference? There are others. And if you're speaking, you are muted. No. Okay. So, people in the room. Here's the microphone.
I agree with the receiving guidance.
Okay.
Yeah. And also, I've just always really loved soul language. Like, I brought out my soul language probably like a month after I met Master Shah, and it was amazing. And whenever I do it, it's very healing, very calming. And so the idea that that contains a message and that we can translate it, that's always been amazing to me.
Ah. Great, thank you. And here's another microphone.
For me, it's becoming really important to be able to receive guidance, clear guidance from my soul or from spiritual realms that is beyond logic and you know, the reason and logic of the conscious mind or the chatter of the conscious mind to get guidance from another level.
Beautiful. So, would it be correct to say bypass the logical thinking? Would that be correct to say that?
Yes,
Okay.
and the chatter of the mind. You know, when you're worried about something, there's a lot of chatter and the anxiety or preoccupation or concern creates a lot of chatter, and I need guidance from a higher level to break through that to a higher level.
That's profound wisdom, actually. Yeah. That's great.
Anyone else?
He just walked in, so he doesn't know what we're doing, I don't think.
On top of everything that has been said, the realization that we human beings have the power to connect with everything and everyone, and it happens with just one thought.
It happens with just one what?
Thought. It's that fast, it's that immediate, and because it's coming from a connection from the heart, a deep connection from the heart, the exchange that then happens always brings back something that was meant to serve, was meant to teach, enlighten us, help us with the next step in life as far as guidance. And to realize that every single second of the day we are absolutely in soul communication if we choose to be.
If we choose to be. Very key phrase, and that's where it connects with the mind chatter.
It really is. It makes life much easier, that's all I will say.
I'm going to add just that.
Actually, it makes life a miracle. It really does.
Yeah, when you kind of break through. Yeah.
And And on that regard, Master Marilyn, when we learn to develop this ability to communicate soul to soul, to feel more of our soul and to hear more of our soul, in my life, I'm verifying that I'm actually being given messages a few days before, or maybe a few weeks, or even a few hours before something is about to happen. I am constantly being given messages, and I've just gotten better at recognizing them. But especially when we find things on the ground that we might discard at first, many times I've needed that thing just hours later. Advice from people, words of people that we dismiss as, oh, it's just coming from that mouth, I don't need to pay attention. Every mouth is important. and so forth. But thank you.
Yeah, no, it's
key.
that's all part of opening the spiritual channels, recognizing the messages. How about in the chat room? What are the responses in the chat room?
Can I respond first?
Oh, of course. Sorry. Absolutely, you are in the room. Sorry.
I'm the man behind the curtain. Yes, and in addition to everything else, it's you can ask the soul world a lot of different questions. You can gain so much knowledge about things that knowledge doesn't exist yet, at least that we know of here on Mother Earth.
Gain new wisdom.
New wisdom. New wisdom.
Is that okay to put it that
Sure.
way? That's the subtitles on many of Master Sha's books, Ancient and New Wisdom. It's said nicely, though it's not said. That's kind of clumsy. But that's a combination. Master Sha is constantly gaining new wisdom, which he immediately shares with us. Gaining new possibilities. And we do the same. We can do the same. I'm not saying we do it on Master Sha's levels, but we are... When we have our channels open, and the more open they are, the more we're able to do this, which connects with what you're saying. Oh, great. Okay.
And yes, we have some responses on in the chat area here. Victoria Simone Swan says, I get excited that I can learn what my purpose is and how to accomplish it. And Christine Owen writes, what excites me the most about the idea that I could open my spiritual channels is that I could receive trustworthy guidance.
Yes.
So I'm just going to add that.
And Arlene McLean writes, what excites me the most about opening my spiritual channels to receive guidance on where and how I can serve another soul better. And Frances Ann Brown writes, I would like to open my spiritual channels more to enable me to serve more individuals, offer more in-depth healing and teaching. Would love to hear from Lord Ganesha.
That's possible. Possible, Francis Ann. It is.
And let's see, Lila Ross writes, I would like to open my spiritual channels to help explain the blockages to clients and get to receive guidance and to translate soul language. I would love to do more soul communication and receive. Aliona B. writes, would love to be able to receive daily guidance from Jesus Christ and Mother Mary.
It's totally possible. Absolutely, it's beautiful.
Patricia Jadot says, would really like to align with a Shifu and be able to provide better service to all souls.
Okay.
And she also says, I would also love to receive guidance and blessings from the soul of blissful Saint Matrona, the Muscovite.
Is it
Saint Matrona the
metronome?
Muscovite. Matrona.
Oh, no. Ends with an A. Okay.
And let's see, Carolyn Nash writes, I would like to receive guidance and translate soul language.
Okay.
And that's all the responses. Let me double check Facebook. What happened before? Let's see. No, nothing on Facebook. Facebook had a hiccup, and I had to restart the Facebook Live, and all the people's comments go right out the draw.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mr. Marilyn, I'm sorry I came late. What was the question?
What excites you the most about the idea it's possible to open your spiritual channels more? Because yours are open, so to open them more. So here's the microphone.
The first thing that came to me is that we receive a blessing at the same time. So what excites me is that we think of communication in a very, just information. But when you get soul communication, it's more than just information. There's a light that comes through.
The communication is a blessing. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And communication too?
But it's more than the information. The communication is like it's a double. Yeah. The other thing is, in emergencies, it can save your life.
Absolutely.
So that's, for me, very exciting.
So I suspect that probably everyone has a little bit of these. There's one that really, touches your heart profoundly. But probably, when you heard the other ones, thought, oh yeah, that's really good about soul opening spiritual channels also. So these are all possibilities. And the people who said they would like to communicate with particular holy beings, any holy being that we know we can communicate with. And even the ones we don't know. Like recently, I have been communicating with a holy being that I know is waiting to connect with me in a very powerful way. But I don't know the name. I don't know the name. But it's not important. I can still do the same communication. And sometimes it's actually helpful if we do not know the name because our ego doesn't get all wrapped up in it. Or our mind does not get all wrapped up in it. Or we don't limit the possibilities. If we have a certain idea about a particular holy being and we will receive this information, we can sometimes limit what we receive by thinking this is all we will receive from this holy being. Although they all do have specialties. They do have specialties, which is a fun thing to realize. So, this is... Ed, would you be able to send me a screenshot of this?
Yes.
Because I'm not able to use my camera right now. Not my camera, my phone. So let me know when I can erase this.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
One of the things that is very special for me about Master Sha is the fact that he teaches this. And he gives us tools and blessings to accomplish this. It is also one of the things about Master Sha that he wants every single person to develop. Because, and it's one of the things, as I said, that's special about Master Sha. Not only he's teaching it, but he has such a highly developed spiritual channels that he doesn't want to be the only one. He wants everybody to be able to do soul communication at very high levels with very high accuracy. And when he first started to teach, the weekends would always be one day on power healing. That was before he called it soul healing. So there'd be one day on power healing and one day on soul study. And the day of power healing would last sometimes an hour, sometimes less, and then it would become soul study, which that is Master Sha's whole thing. He wants us to accomplish our soul journey. So from the very, very beginning, that has been his emphasis, and it continues to be. Master Shunya has said many times that Master Sha has said, anytime there is a workshop offered on the spiritual channels, take it. Because of all the things that you have said, there's not one person that I know who could say, well, I've really reached the top of the mountain. I have accomplished complete and total connection with all of the holy beings in the light side. People in the room are chuckling, and everybody else is chuckling too. I mean, it's just so that's why Master Sha says, take these workshops because of what Lawrence said. When we are receiving these communications from the holy beings, it's more than information, it is a blessing also. It's like the blessing is embedded in the communication. And that's true for these workshops. The blessings are embedded for several reasons. It's, the teachings, but these teachings are from Master Sha. So they're carrying Master Sha's blessings. In Master Sha's teachings, there are 4 spiritual channels. So language, oops, and translation. Direct communication, third eye, and direct knowing. There are actually other spiritual channels, but these are the four that Master Sha emphasizes. And Master Sha really, really emphasizes soul language and translation because it's the foundation. And in every book that he has a section on soul communication, this is emphasized a lot. And in the book, Divine Healing Hands, I don't remember exactly what page it's on, but Master Sha is saying, really, really develop this highly. When you develop this highly, direct communication is easy. When Master Sha started training us, we spent 2 years in a program of soul language and translation. And we had classes with Master Sha. I think it was either 2 or 3, I can't remember how many days, but it was at least 2 days every week for an hour. But it was one of Master Sha's hours. So it was an absolute treasure. And at the end, if we met the standard, then we were certified for soul language and translation. And to be certified, the translation had to have at least, at that time, I think it was 80% accuracy. Now it's a much higher level. But this channel, for those, I have to remind myself that this is for people who are new. So this channel, the soul language channel, is the foundation, as I said. And when it is fully developed, we are able to do translation. We have to spend a lot of time with soul language, though. Melissa was commenting how much she loves soul language and doing, whoops. This is so interesting. Everything has a message. So we don't have anyone with a cell phone. You've all turned them off. But heaven wants this to be emphasized, so I knocked over all the papers. It's what you were talking about earlier. Pay attention. So, okay, this is very important. I'm going to pay attention to heaven's, emphasis to really help each one to appreciate the significance of more fully opening your soul language channel. For those who are really new, who are thinking, what is soul language and how do you open that channel? That'll be the next step. It is the language of the soul world, actually. That's what the soul world speaks. They don't speak, here on Earth we have the different languages associated with the different countries. The soul world doesn't have that. They have one language, soul language. Yeah. And that's what we connect with when we open our soul language channel. We are able to receive blessings. In fact, I'll put that back later. So for the people who are new, there is a way to open the soul language channel. Master Sha's spiritual father and teacher received a special code, and he received it one night, and he was wondering about it. So he went to his third daughter, and he said, did you receive a code? And she said, well, I did. And she told him what the code was. It was exactly the same as the one he had received. And the code is 3396815. This is the code to unlock the spiritual channels. This is a code to open soul language. This is like the ignition in a car. You put the key in the ignition and you turn it, and the car will run. We use this code, and we can open our soul language. It is amazing. I call this the Rosetta Stone of the universe. So this code also connects, well, this person's standing facing forward, so. This code connects with different areas of our body. So 3 is the area of the chest. 9 is the lower, below our navel, both front and back. 8 is the navel. Oops, I forgot 6. 6 are the ribs. 1 is from the top of our head to the top of our shoulders. And 5 is the stomach. So when we use this code, we are also moving energy, we are moving light in our bodies. It is healing. So it is doing many things at the same time. It is helping us to connect with heaven, and it is healing our bodies. So I want to just check with people who are new. Still doesn't make quite sense. So heaven gave this code to Master Guo in order to help people to have a tool. Because if you say to people, open your soul language, how do you do that?
It's a spiral.
Pardon?
To do things you say with fire, it's a spiral.
Okay, thank you. This is the way that people can have access, the way that people can connect with heaven. And we can connect with one another. When Master Sha wanted to be a student of Master Guo, and he phoned him, I'd like to be your disciple. And Master Guo said, just be a student. Master Sha waited a couple of weeks, and he phoned him again. And Master Guo said, just be a student. So Master Sha waited a couple of weeks, and he phoned him again. Now, Master Sha was in the Philippines, and Master Guo was in China. So it wasn't like, phoning across town. This time, Master Guo said, wait for a letter. And Master Sha thought, oh. And when he got the letter, he opened it and he read it. The first thing was, do not forget your country. The next thing was, do not forget your mother. The next thing was, when you want to communicate with me, use 3396815. Oh, wow, I love this. Okay. Wow, I think I'm going to... No, it won't fit there. All right, this is meant to be here. So this is very important. So Master Sha thought to himself, is this a phone number? Because Master Guo did not give any explanation.
So there's a spiral. 339, when it goes from top to bottom, goes first curve, 9 to 6, goes second curve, 6 to 8, third curve, 8 to 1, fourth curve, and 1 to 5 is the curve. So it's a spiral.
Okay. So there's much significance to the whole thing. It's layers and layers and layers and layers of significance. So, that's one. What we're focusing on tonight, though, is we're focusing on the fact that this is a code that can help us to open our spiritual channels. And that's part of it. And it can help us to open our spiritual channels more fully. Because many people will have their spiritual channels open. This also is a code that helps us to connect with what Master Sha is making present for us. So when we use this code to open our spiritual channels, or to open them more fully, what we are doing is we're also connecting with what Master Sha has received. So we're connecting with all of that frequency, all of that vibration, all of that wisdom, all of that virtue. That's very huge. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to just say it as if those of you in the room have already, opened your soul language, but we're going to say it as if you had not. So we'll do it slowly because there are people on the teleconference and Facebook who have not opened their soul language. So just relax. And the words san, Zhou, Liu, Ba, Yao, Wu. And that should be you. Okay? So we'll first do it slowly, and then we'll just go a little bit faster. Okay? So just sit straight. Put your feet flat on the floor. And I'm going to ask you to put your hands below your navel. Close your eyes and focus in your lower abdomen. And we'll use the 4 powers of Master Sha. So for those who are new, we use the 4 powers of Master Sha for everything we do. One is body power, and I just explained what it is. The next is mind power, so you will focus your attention on your lower abdomen. This whole area is called, that space is called zhong, Z-H-O-N-G. And the sound power is going to be this code. And the soul power is to say hello. Dear soul, mind, and body of my soul language, you have the ability to come out, and you have the ability to develop more and more. Do a good job. Thank you, thank you, thank you. San, san, jo, so say it after me. San, san, jo, yo. We'll say that again. This is your brand new. San, san, jo, yo. 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 Ba, ya, wu. 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 So we'll put the whole thing together. San, san, jo, yo, ba, ya, wu. 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 Faster. San, san, jo, yo, ba, ya, wu. 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 Faster. San, san, jo, yo, ba, ya, wu. 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 Faster. Sancho Bayu, Sancho Bayu, Sancho Bayu, Sancho Bayu, Sancho Bayu, faster, faster, Sancho Bayu, San ya 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 na ya 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 na ya 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 na 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 ya 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 na ya 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 na 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 ya 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 na 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 ya na ya na ya na 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 ya na ya 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 na 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 ya 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 na ya na 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 ya na ya 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 na ya. How? Now, I know some of the people who are new did not open your soul language, but that gives you an idea. During the course of this year, we're going to have weekends to do just that. For people who've already opened your soul language, to develop it more fully, because it can always increase in frequency and vibration. So we will have whole days where that will be the whole focus. And as I said, the soul language translation channel is the basis, the foundation for the others. When you develop this very, very much, then the next one, direct communication, is easy. With soul language and translation, what we do is we ask a question. And we don't always have to ask a question, but it's very good to start with a question. If we want guidance from heaven, it's very good to be specific about the kind of guidance we want, and heaven will respond. So when this channel really opens fully, this one flows from it. That's really the way it works. And that was a part of what Master Sha was doing when he was training us for so many hours every week for 2 years, to make sure that we had developed this fully, that we had a solid, that we had solid energy centers, so that we could do direct communication. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask if there's someone who would like to do soul language, and I will translate.
Go for it, Michelle.
Melissa? Okay. Would you like to know what your soul would like to tell you?
What?
Would you like to know what your soul would like to say to you? Okay, here. Okay. So we're not just going to leave it totally wide open, because I just said it's very good to ask a question. So we'll do that. So it'll be what your soul would like to say to you. And you do your soul language. And I'll probably wait, because you might want to hear the translation. If I do it simultaneously, you can't. Yeah, okay. So I'll wait until you're finished. And then you'll hear the translation.
Okay. How?
Okay. My most beloved Melissa, I am very grateful that you took this opportunity, because I have so much wisdom to share with you. Perhaps the next time you can do more soul language, and I can share more.
I can keep going.
What?
I can keep going.
Yeah, why don't you?
Was that it?
Well, you stop.
Okay.
You know, when we translate soul language, there will be times when it's like a condensed form. Mm-hmm. But most of the time when we translate the soul language, it's going to be parallel to what the soul language was.
Okay.
Okay. You can continue if you like.
Yo 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 How?
I am very grateful for this opportunity to share more fully with you. I have been with you for many incarnations and have great wisdom to share with you in this lifetime. I know that you are aware of much of this wisdom. It is my greatest desire that you will take the steps to make this wisdom available not only to yourself on a conscious way, but to many others who need it so very much. I am very grateful for this opportunity to speak with you this evening. How? Thank you.
Thank you.
So how did that resonate with you? How did that feel?
It felt good. Yeah.
Did it feel like it?
Yeah, and I was actually I was talking to Ryla yesterday, and I was talking to her about how, yes, I feel like my soul really wants me to use like some of the struggles that I've gone through and like expand it outwards into using, yes, the wisdom to help others. So, yes.
So now you've heard this on the conscious. I have no idea the conversation. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
So that's an example of soul, language, and translation. That when our spiritual channels, the more open they are, the more we can connect with the soul language and translate it accurately. And you know that it's been an accurate translation when you get one or two responses. The person will smile and say, yeah, that feels exactly right. Or the person will hear something they've been resisting for a long time, and they really want to keep resisting it. But most of the time, the soul world is so kind, so very, very kind, that the soul world will give us the translation that is going to move us forward. The soul world is not going to put barriers and blockages in front of us, but the soul world is trying to help us to move them aside so we can move forward with our soul journey. So that this, I cannot emphasize enough, really, the importance and significance of the soul language and translation channel. On Tuesdays, well, let me get this. Yeah. So, what we're what I'm going to do now is to demonstrate direct communication. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask the divine to give a brief teaching about the significance of opening our spiritual channels. Okay? Yeah. So, oh wow, isn't this so amazing?
I have no idea who that is. I usually don't get calls at this time. But there's a call.
So for the people on the webcast and Facebook, you may not have been able to hear it, but maybe you did. A cell phone went off. And for me, what has happened, it actually started happening when I was in Australia. The workshops I did before that, not so much. But when I was in Australia, it was so incredible. As soon as I said something really that heaven wanted people to pay attention to, somebody's cell phone would go off. And so I never got upset. Some people get very, very upset when a cell phone goes off when they're talking, or in their, like we're always in flow. For me, that's part of the flow, is the cell phone going off, because that was very important. So I just said something about the significance of opening our spiritual channels.
Okay.
And a message from the divine. So the divine really, really wants us to pay attention to this.
Okay. And that was someone from our group calling me.
How interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I will do that flow. And can you move this over here? I actually can do it standing up. I don't have to sit down, but... My most beloved sons and daughters, you are very deeply loved. Each one of you is very dear to me. It is my greatest, deepest desire that you would know this in every aspect of who you are. Sometimes people listen to this message with their ears, but not their hearts. It is so important that you listen to my words to you with your heart, and to know that I hold you dearly and tenderly in my love. Each one of you is so special. This is something also that many hear with their ears, but not their hearts. And I ask of you to please hear this with your heart. You are special. You are deeply loved. You are chosen. And that is why that you are participating in this event. To be chosen means you have a very special role. You have the possibility of helping humanity, of helping in the way that is appropriate for you. And each one of you will help in your own unique way. Because you are receiving these teachings and wisdom, you have much to bring to others. The more you experience that you are loved, that you are special, the more you will live that message. You have the possibility of being the presence of love, the presence of my love for you. As you live this presence, as you live my love, you are serving others. Humanity needs love. In so many parts of Mother Earth, there is the absence of loving presence. Humanity deeply, deeply desires to be loved. To be chosen, to be special, to be the presence of my love is needed so very much. When you open your spiritual channels, you are able to hear with your heart much better. The more you open your spiritual channels, the more you can hear with your heart. The more you can make a heart-to-heart connection. The more you are able to receive my love, the love of others in the soul world, the love of the holy beings who were mentioned earlier. All of this is possible when you open your channels more fully. The significance of participating in the events that will be offered cannot be emphasized too much. For each of you, it is a new experience to hear me speak to you in this way. It is a new level of awareness. And for many, it is a deeper experience of being loved. And that is possible because you have had a little taste of opening your spiritual channels. As you participate in the events that will be offered, this experience will deepen, and you will live the one sentence secret. Love melts all blockages and transforms life. The more your channels are open, the more you can receive my love, the love of the saints and other holy beings. The more you can have blockages melt and your life transformed. Healing can happen in every aspect of your life. The significance of opening your spiritual channels is very huge. You can experience being loved, being healed, communicating on a new level with the soul world, with every soul. This is just the smallest hint of the significance of opening your spiritual channels. You are loved and you are blessed. How? Thank you, thank you, thank you. Maybe you could just say, give one word for your response to that message. There should be a microphone on this side and there's one on that side. No, it's not there?
Loving.
Loving. Beautiful.
The fact that so many of us have not experienced unconditional love, and that this is a way of tapping into that and feeling it, experiencing it, because the kind of love we receive from mom and dad or teachers is very conditional, and we don't know what it means to connect with unconditional love and acceptance. Mm-hmm. And that's also important to self-love. It helps us with self-love when we can connect with that level.
So it's more than one word, but
Yeah.
let me see if I caught the essence. That your response was an experience of connecting with unconditional love?
Love, yes.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you.
Anybody else?
No, Paula, no, don't pass it away.
I really am in this connection with, yes, the purest form of love that we can experience is
Okay,
really
that's
amazing.
beautiful. Perfect. Joseph, do you have one word?
What words? Gratitude for the message.
Okay,
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. Ed?
My one word would be exquisite.
Oh, thank you.
That means beyond beautiful.
And responses in the chat room?
Let's see. Victoria Simone Swan says, touching. Lila Ross says, grateful. Francis Ann Brown says, love. And those appear to be the only responses in the chat room on live stream. Let me check Facebook real quickly. Facebook is a little. On Facebook. You're still giving the message.
Oh.
There's a considerable lag.
Oh.
So they won't respond for a while
We'll check that. How about on the teleconference? I thought Facebook was simultaneous.
This conference is unmuted. Callers may mute themselves by pressing star
Always
1.
learning. So the line is open, and you can respond with your one word.
This conference is unmuted. Callers may mute themselves by pressing star 1.
So the conference is unmuted, and if you're speaking, that means you are on mute. This line has been opened. I think people are out.
The conference is muted.
On Facebook, there is a message here from Malti Singh. I believe she is from India. And she says, thank you so very much for the beautiful message. But there's no one words yet because on Facebook, the images, you're still doing the flow.
Oh, okay. So you can maybe signal me when that's completed. It's hard to respond to something that's in progress. So we're going to have a series of events so that everyone can more fully develop their soul language and translation and then move into direct communication. And the first one is this weekend on Sunday. So tomorrow is an introduction to the soul journey. You know, it's very interesting. We use terms all the time, but we don't always know what we're talking about. We'll talk about the soul journey, and it sounds wonderful. It's a lovely term. But, you know, what does that mean? What does it include? So we will have a whole day to really connect with Master Sha's basic teachings on what is the soul journey. So that, again, if we can always expand our awareness of what it means. I was going to say understanding, but usually we think of understanding as studying a book so I understand it. But it's far beyond that. And for people who are new, to have an introduction to the soul journey. Even if you've had a practice, I was talking to someone recently who has explored extensively herself. She's read many books, she's gone to many different teachers, but is feeling, unclear and uncertain. What is it that she's really trying to accomplish? And is there a map that will help to get from here to where you want to be? The good news is, yes, there is. And that will be an introduction tomorrow, an introduction to the soul journey, how we get from where we are to where we are meant to be. And people who are brand new, this is really, really what I would consider an ideal workshop. Because, as I said, we use language a lot, and we know it has great significance, but we really don't know what it means. And even people who have come here to the center often, it is always possible to have a greater appreciation and awareness, greater depth to our response. So I'm going to let you know what the events are coming. I just talked about the one tomorrow. And then on Sunday, it is a soul language and soul language translation workshop. That's from 10 in the morning until 6 in the evening. So that will be on Sunday. Saturday, it's the soul journey. Sunday, soul language and translation. And for people on the webcast and Facebook who are thinking, oh, well, I'm not all that interested in this one. I'm really interested in the third eye. That just I love listening to all those pictures and movies of people. I'm going to do that. Very good. That's wonderful. But it's step by step. And soul language and translation is the foundation. Third eye is like the windows. Images. We look out the window and we see images. If you're going to build a house, you do not start with the windows. If you try to hang the windows first, it's going to be a disaster. Yeah. So that's true for this too. If you try to start with the third eye and say, oh, I'm going to wait until that one comes around, it will not be so successful. You need a foundation, and then you can build on it. So that's the way this has been developed. So the first one is on Sunday, Soul Language and Translation, and it is the prerequisite for everything that follows. And one thing that follows is Soul Language Translation practicums. And I do that with Master Patricia O'Neill every Tuesday afternoon. And we do it from 2 until 3:30. It has been so awesome to me. And actually, that's the appropriate word. Some of the participants have been coming for several months now. The depth of their translation is amazing. When they first started, the translations did not have so much depth. But now, after when we first started, a lot of them would jump back and forth from translation to third eye images and sharing their third eye images. they've developed a great ability to stay with soul language and translation, and have developed that ability to really, to me, it's a very exciting level. So that's open. This is open to people who make the workshop on Sunday. And you cannot participate on Tuesdays unless you do make the workshop on Sunday, or you've made one previously, like Anita, you've made one previously. But it would be great to come back on Sunday.
I'll be here.
Yeah, that would be great. You're one of our very faithful students. Then in March 25th, is a direct soul communication workshop. But again, in order to participate in that, you need to have completed a soul language intensive. And then there's a soul language and direct soul communication intensive in May. And that will be a 2-day workshop. So the first day will be soul language. The second day will be direct soul communication. And people, if there are some people on the line who are also in the Tao Soul Communicator program, and you have workshops coming up, these offerings will be very helpful to you. So I wanted to mention to those who are in the Tao Soul Communicator program, please do not say to yourself, oh, well, I'm already in that program. I do it every weekend. I'm watching the videos and I'm doing homework and I'm in a small group. I don't need that. Wrong already. This will be very, very helpful to you. And the practicums, if you are in the Tao Source Communicator program, the practicums on Tuesday afternoon will be very, very helpful to you. And right now what we're doing, we've been doing soul language and translation for probably 3 months now, maybe 4. And we're going to continue. Because I was going to, jump over to direct communication. And when I was ready to jump, Kevin said, don't. Nobody's really ready. And I thought, oh, all right. So we've continued to do this, but it has been so extraordinary to experience what is happening for the students week after week after week. So this is what we have on the calendar through May. That does not mean that in May we're going to say, well, that's it. Open Spiritual Channels is closed now. You've accomplished it. That's not it. That's not. Because there's third eye and direct knowing. But always, always, no matter what you're doing, no matter what workshop, always continue to have some practice of soul language and translation. And I'm the one that's designing the program for the Tao Source Communicator program. It's a 2-year program. And it's been so interesting to me because I'm now finishing the 4th semester, which is, that's the end. At the end of the 4th semester, there will be a big retreat. There will be the oral exam. And throughout the 4th semester, as I've been doing each one of the classes, there is a segment in there on soul language and translation. I thought, wow, it's been a powerful teaching for me because I had assumed by the time that the 4th semester was coming to a close that this would not be part of the classes anymore. But as I just said a couple of minutes ago, wrong already. It is still, because it's the foundation. And the foundation always needs to be reinforced. It's not like, it's like a house or any building. It's not enough to have a really, really solid foundation, but it has to be checked all the time. And sometimes it needs to be reinforced. So that's true for this also, for our spiritual channels. The foundation always needs to be reinforced and developed, made stronger. So that is what we will be offering. So I'll give you about 2 minutes. That's about all the time that we have. If there are any questions about what I've just said, that we will be doing. Yes?
So we'll be spending some time boosting Lower Dantian.
Oh,
Snow Mountain.
Great. Thank you, Lawrence, for asking that. I'm not sure everybody heard you. Will we be spending time boosting our Lower Dantian and Snow Mountain area? The foundation energy centers are the foundation for soul language. So we will do that. And in this 2-year program, the people meet in small groups every week. Every single week, part of the work they do is to build their foundation energy centers. Yeah.
I have a follow-up. Will we be able to get checked to see if, we need, will it be offered that we can get Jindan or higher Jindan and check if we need it?
Yes. So for people who are new, when Lawrence asked if it would be possible to get a Jindan for the energy centers, Jindan means a golden ball, and it's a permanent treasure. We can work and do this ourselves, and it will take us a very long time. When we started, that's what we did. Master Sha did not have any of these treasures to offer. And it took hours and hours of practice to get just a small percent. So then, but with the treasures, with one treasures, you can get up to like 60% immediately. Or boost what you've already got. So they will be offered, yes. And we will check to see like what your percentage is, and what would be very good to receive as the next level. Yeah.
Master Marilyn, I heard. Is it working? Yeah. I heard Master Francisco yesterday say that on Master Ulin's retreat next week, they're going to offer soul enlightenment. My enlightenment, heart enlightenment, I believe, also.
Okay.
Yes. Would you say that each enlightenment is like a major boost for our soul language translation?
Absolutely.
Like more than that, if we were to just receive this enlightenment order, then our abilities to open our soul language was just multiplying by much.
It would make a very great difference. It would give us the potential. It would give us a great potential.
Okay.
We still need to do the hard work.
Yes, of
we
course.
still need to do this.
Of course.
It would not be enough.
But it would have removed all the layers of blockages that would have...
Well, you need to remember that we can receive soul enlightenment, but unless we are doing everything to maintain it, nothing is guaranteed. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers.
So for people who are new, that's a question more for students who are advanced. So for students who are new, what I would really emphasize is the question that Lawrence asked. The foundation for all 4 spiritual channels is soul language and translation. And the foundation to open your soul language more and more fully are Lower Dantian and Kundalini or Snow Mountain. And actually, the Lower Dantian is the one that helps the Lower Dantian Message Center and Zhu Chao go together as a set. And that will be explained more on Sunday. But those are energy centers. And when we have a very, very powerful Lower Dantian, it helps to open the whole sequence.
I asked because I think it's pretty weak. Because new students need to know it's not only for soul communication, it actually is for energy, stamina, vitality, and immunity. So, I've had the flu, I've been tired, even though I am doing the practice, and I really feel I need an upgrade. And so it doesn't, and when I last got, those jindans, I did receive them before, I could feel a huge difference. Mm-hmm. Huge.
Yeah.
I was a different person. Yeah. I could keep up with life. Now it's like,
plodding along.
Yeah, I feel like, the engine is a little sluggish, so I need something.
Well, Lawrence, that's
true. I'm like,
that's really great that you're sharing that, because what you're saying right now, what you're really doing is you're working on your own. It's a human level, even though you have some treasures, but it feels very much like just working on a human level. When we move to the divine level, it's night and day. Yeah. So what happens when we have treasures at one level and feel this way, it's an indication that we need a higher level because of all that is active in the soul journey. Yeah. So definitely we will do that. Yeah. So is there any question in the chat room?
No, I don't see any questions right now.
Okay. So what I would encourage everyone to do is to be present tomorrow for the introduction, tomorrow. No, tomorrow is Introduction to the Soul Journey. Yeah, so tomorrow's Introduction to the Soul Journey. So all of us can always benefit from more wisdom on every aspect of that. And then Sunday is the Soul Language and Soul Language Translation Workshop. It is possible to register for those by going to facebook.com/Master Sha Tao Healing Center, and it's listed there. You can also phone the center, 415-971-7373. So either go to Facebook for Master Sha Tao Healing Center, or you can phone the center. And if you're thinking, oh, I'll wait until tomorrow, that's okay. I have plenty of time. It's true, you do. You have some time. But the blessings begin as soon as you register. So it's like getting a whole extra day's worth of blessing or 2 extra days worth of blessing simply by registering early. So I let people know this so that you can have maximum benefit. Yeah. Excuse me? I can't hear you.
I was begging for a blessing.
Oh, well, yes, always. Joseph?
Mr. Merrill, excuse me. What is the honor fee for Sunday?
You know, Joseph, I don't think it's on this paper. No, the honor fees are not on here, so you're going to either need to go to Facebook or to phone. I'm sorry, I'd make every effort to keep those types of pieces of information in my memory. So far, I have not been terrifically successful, but I'll keep making the effort. Okay, thank you. Okay, well now, Paolo left and Lawrence left, but their souls will get the blessings anyway. So just please sit straight. And this actually could be for anything you want, but it would be very good to clear blockages to registering immediately. Paula, you're going to miss the blessing.
That you requested.
But we always end with a blessing. Okay, so please sit straight. And put your feet flat on the floor. How? Thank you, thank you, thank you. And how is Mandarin? And it means perfect, wonderful, good, complete. So we will, we end with saying 3 times, love you, thank you, and gong song. Gong song means respectfully return. So we're saying to the soul world who has been with us to return to whatever it is that they need to be doing. Okay? So, love you, love you, love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gong song, gong song, gong song. And to everybody on Facebook, thank you and good night. And I hope you will be back tomorrow and Sunday. Same for those on the webcast and teleconference. Really, really love you, everyone. Really, really love you, everyone. Really, really love you, everyone. Really love you, everyone. Really love you, everyone. Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.